Good morning, Celtic fans. He is on his way. The breaking Celtic FC news this morning is that Tomoki Iwata has jetted out. His Instagram for his management company has posted a few hours back that he's on his way. Departures Lounge. He's on his way to Celtic. He's on his way to Scotland. You can see it there on his management company's Instagram page. So we'll look at that. I'll give you some stats about the player. I'll show you a little video footage of the player, and then we'll go into the comments section. As always, if it's the first time that you've been on the channel, make sure that you hit the notification bell so you never miss a video, and give the video a thumbs up. So let's look at some stats at the player. First of all, Transfer Market has changed the website just now to confirm that he is a current club is Celtic. He joined Celtic on the 1st of January, so the deal has already been done. He's joined Celtic on the 1st of January 2023 until the 31st of May 2023. Obligation to buy with conditions, that Transfer Market website is saying. So what about the player? He is 25 years old. He was born in 1997. He's 1.76 metres high. He's a midfield player. He's a defensive midfield player also. He can also play in the right in midfield. Other positions, he could play right back and centre back. Now that's interesting, considering that we have a new player that's just came in that position. So he can play several positions. You know, he plays in that defensive midfield player position. That would allow Callum McGregor to push forward. Is he a long-term replacement for Callum McGregor? That's one. So his current market value is 1.3 million, and it looks like Celtic are going to get him for 1.3 million in the summer, if they wish to take up on a full-term contract. So he jets out of Glasgow. He becomes Celtic's fourth signing, third. I'm losing count. I mean, Ange Postecoglou is just getting his guys in early. His agent has obviously shared the journey of the 25-year-old embarking on the long journey from Japan, from Yokohama F Marinos. So let's look at the player and look at some video footage of the player, and then we'll jump into the comments section. So the player does look a bit of a handful. There's not much you can tell. I mean, it's all good seeing nice bits of play that he's where he's doing good, but you know, there's only so much you can tell from these little short clips that you see on YouTube. He has been named as one of the most influential players and most valuable players in the team in the division. Iwata becomes obviously the third signing, following Kobayashi and Alistair Johnston. So, speaking about it earlier this month, Postecoglou said, "We're really delighted to be bringing Tomoki to Celtic. I'm sure he'll be a player our Celtic's supporters will like. He's a versatile player who can operate in defence, midfield, and he's a really committed football player with some great attributes. His career is going in the right trajectory." So he's got a good level of experience, and it'll be brilliant to see him in a Celtic strip. It is confirmed he is on his way to Glasgow as we speak. Will he get paraded tomorrow before the game? I think that's most likely. That's going to be what happens. He'll get a good sleep tonight, and he'll be paraded in front of Parkhead tomorrow. And it's the way that Celtic do things these days. So let's jump over to the comments section and see what you're saying in the comments about the video from yesterday. And obviously the video yesterday was fantastic news for Celtic, as they're about to cash in on a player that we sold a few seasons ago, getting sold for 50 million, and we make 5 million profit due to the 10% sell-on clause. So Ian McKenzie first up, he says, Hart is far more than just a goalkeeper for us. He is one of the main driving forces behind Big Ange's philosophy since he has arrived. And also at the end of the video yesterday, we did do a little video to sort of show all the good bits about Joe Hart and his saves. Donny Boy goes on to say, as a 57-year-old, I find it disgusting the love-in some fans have with players. The love-ins? only to disrespect them when they go out of favour. Gigi, JJ, Maida, Abada have all been loved and then hated and then loved again by some of our fan base. I think that's one of the things about social media in the current day and age. I mean, back in the 80s when I first started going to football in the 90s, you know, you spoke about a player who's maybe had a bad game, but he didn't have the level of criticism, I don't think. I mean, I can think back to Peter Grant. Peter Grant wasn't the best of midfield players when I was growing up, but he was 100% committed, you know, and he never got any of the stick, I don't think, that modern football players do get. It is a very modern approach to the online criticism that players do get. So it's just one of these things, you know, players tend not to look at social media these days. You know, even the manager says if he was to look at social media every day, he would never get any work done. So Heart1344 says having Gigi there is a great option. Don't forget he stood up to the plate when Kyogo was out for a spell last season. He did that and he stood up to the plate really well. I would still like to see us play with two strikers up front. I think Kyogo and Guacamakis would be some strike force. It'd be something like we've never had anything like it since the Hearts and Larson days. You know, having a big guy that can take the ball down and then a little Kyogo that can like run riot around about him. I think it'd be fantastic to see the two of them play up front. Mappy says the Hart video was much appreciated. It's difficult to read criticism of our players who have given so much in such a short space of time, and I think that's true. I think our fan base especially forget the mess that we were in when Neil Lennon left, and we obviously collapsed during the 9 in a row to the 10 in a row season. We obviously won 9 in a row, but the 10 in a row season we just completely collapsed under Neil Lennon, and players were well due the criticism, but what we've achieved in the last year and a bit, you know, it's I think people need to just sit back, take a chill pill. It's January. We've got a new player on the way. Tomoki Iwata will be at Celtic. He is already confirmed by transfermarket.com as being a Celtic player. That is your Celtic FC news for the day's fantastic news. Another player in, ready. Have a nice day, Celtic fans all around the world.